I think he realized just how fortunate that he is that he's getting an opportunity to play basketball, especially since the mandate is in place in New York City. And it seems to me that the team said, at the beginning, Skip, they're like, nah, we don't want a part-time player. But they looked across the West and they saw Phoenix and they saw Golden State and they said they're not going away. And they're looking in their own conference and they say the Milwaukee Bucks, when their big three played, Chris Middleton, Holiday, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, Greek Freak, Skip, they've only lost 3 games. Now, they've been in and out of the lineup and protocol and whatever the case may be. I think Holiday has been nicked, but when they play together, they've only lost 3 games. I think they're 15-3, maybe 16-3 when all 3 play together. They look at Chicago, Zach LaVine, DeRozan, Lonzo Ball. They're playing extremely well. They got a guy in Vucevic that can go get you 20 rebounds and get you 16, 18 points in a given game. So they're looking. They put this team together, Skip, to win a championship. They say we're putting this together for a big 3, not a big 2, and the third party is at home chilling. Skip, the Brooklyn Nets' job, what their organization is about winning basketball games. They're not in the business of public health and safety. That's not what they're about. They're in the entertainment. They're trying to win a championship. So I get it. For me, it would be hard for me to be a teammate of Kyrie's because he's not sacrificing like I am.
No.
And that's the whole thing about sports. Everybody has to be willing to sacrifice something. If you're not willing to sacrifice, well, so what are we doing here? I got to sacrifice, but you don't? Doesn't seem right to me, but I get why they did it, Skip. And like I said, I don't have a problem with it as an organization. It would bother me as a player because I'm sacrificing. I know what I'm sacrificing. Why does he not have to sacrifice something? What is he sacrificing? Nothing. So in the end, Kyrie won. Kyrie says, I'm not getting the vaccine. And the Brooklyn Nets, they caved. There's no other way around that, but they caved because they see this as a golden opportunity. They have a very finite window in trying to win a championship. Got no problem with that, but Kyrie understands just how fortunate that he is. He's such a skilled player, Skip. It's hard. You cannot deny his talent and what he can bring to the table.
No.
And it increases their opportunity. Now, I believe they probably voted to the front of the table as far as favorites. And all the betting house, Fox Bet, us, whomever else.
They have.
Because nobody has a big 3 like that, Skip.
So on this point, I despise having to agree with you, but I must, because the second I heard they had crawled back to Kyrie Irving, I tweeted, Kyrie won. Nets caved. Makes me sick because it should not have been this way. And the greatest irony of all is that COVID was the reason he betrayed this team. And then COVID has become the reason, because it has struck back again, it has become the reason that they caved back into him. And now he's, to me, getting a huge break and, in part, a huge pass because they survived without him. They did survive. They didn't fall to the bottom of the heap.
They're the number 1 seed in the East without him.
They're 23-9. They're 1 game ahead of those Bulls you just detailed. And the Bulls are serious business, but these guys are more serious, especially with him back.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what his physical status is. I don't know. He said he was going to middle school gyms and occasional high school gyms by himself in secret. But you know and I know it's going to take a while to get him in game shape. Okay? So I'm not sure exactly. He's talking about the January 5th game, maybe. I don't know exactly what he's going to be able to give him, how quickly that will happen. And it may take till the playoffs till you start to see, oh, there's Kyrie. But I guess he's going to be back for X number of these games. Not that many, but X number.
Probably 40. What are they, like 30, 33, 34 ball games? Maybe 35?
So he mixed my emotions with everything he said. You said you didn't have a problem, and I kept just like clenching my teeth over it because a final statement he made is he's ready to be back and to pursue their goal of winning a championship. Baloney. I'm calling you on that. That's a lie, because if you really wanted to win a championship, you would have sacrificed from the start. And again, it's easy for me to say, and it's easy for you to say, we got vaccinated, we got boosted, we got the whole 3 shots. Okay, we got it. But we did it for the sake of our ability to win as a team, because I'm trying to protect you and you're trying to protect me. and we're all in this together.
And we're trying to have a show.
We're trying to hang in and hang on for dear life, right? Literally for dear life.
But, Skip, I have a very unique perspective that most people that say, Shannon, you don't know what you're talking about. I was on a team concept, and I know what it's like to sacrifice. And the greater the sacrifice, the greater the accomplishment of the goal. I don't care what it is, Skip. You tell me a person, if you show me a person that's never sacrificed anything, I'll show you a person that hasn't accomplished anything.
I agree.
Now, I'm not saying, Skip, everybody doesn't want to be Oprah or Denzel or LeBron.
I got it.
That's fine. But if you think you can achieve greatness or a level of greatness without sacrifice, you cannot.
You cannot. The price you have to pay is severe.
Right.
We just talked about LeBron. You better keep paying a severe price. Brady's paying a severe price to still be upright at 44 and wanting to do this.
He's sacrificing his marriage.
He is.
His wife wants him to come home. The kids want him to come home.
They want him
That's
to come
what
home.
he's sacrificing.
That is correct. I am so with you on this. And yet, the greatest, most painful irony was the driving force of putting this team together was one Kyrie Irving. I think without him, I don't think Kevin goes to Brooklyn. I don't think.
No.
I doubt it.
No.
And the whole James Harden acquisition, I think Kyrie was generating. I think he was fueling the acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
So he put it together, and then he undercut it. He quit on it, in effect. No, I don't want to do that. And I still haven't heard a reason. I'm sure he's got his reason. God knows.
Well, you know, Skip, he said, he don't want people, all the people that doesn't have a voice. He don't think the mandate is right. Okay. He's speaking for the voiceless.
Okay, but he is fraught with various conspiracy theories, and you've brought up the third eye conspiracy theory. You get vaccinated, you develop a third eye. We haven't seen it because a lot of people have been vaccinated for quite a while now, and I think
I haven't seen a Cyclops.
Have you? I haven't seen one yet, but he's got his theories, and I always credit him because off the court, he's got a high basketball IQ. I think he has a high, in general, IQ.
Yeah.
He is a deep thinker to a fault, because sometimes you can just overthink it to death.
Yes.
And I think he overthought this one into oblivion. And then he's got so much pride that once he dug in, he said,
you got to stand on that hill.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit right here on top of my hill, and I'm going to fold my arms. And he even admitted, he said, boy, it's been a long time. And he said that just marking the calendar, he said, I'd have to X off the days. And he said, it seems like it's been forever. It's been only 3 months. Well, it was a long 3 months for him, and he admitted it. And then he said, this was convoluted, sort of conflicting statements, but he said, I knew the consequences, but I wasn't prepared for them in no stretch of the imagination. Well, I don't know exactly what that means.
Yeah, what you mean you knew the consequences?
Okay, well, I think he's admitting he didn't really get the consequence of what it was going to feel like to go sit at home by yourself.
He didn't, what he meant, Skip, is that he didn't know that the Nets would say, nah, we're not taking a part-time guy. Yeah. He was willing to say, well, I ain't doing the mandate. I understand that I'm going to get criticism for people that want me to get vaccinated, but I didn't anticipate the Nets said, nah, go home and don't come back. He didn't anticipate that. I don't think anybody anticipated that, Skip. We were all shocked. That day's like, Steve Nash like, nah, and the general manager's like, nah, the owner's like, nah, we want somebody, a full participant. We don't think it's fair. Well, come to find out, winning is the most fair thing that we can seek in sports.
So in the end, I picked this team to win it all. I'm going to stick with it. My heart's not in it, because if I were a teammate of his, I'd have a hard time with this. Yeah. Kevin is so close with him. You know, and I know it was Kevin Durant who said, go get him.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Got to have him.
Because when they said, well, we don't, you know what, we don't think it's fair that Kyrie can only participate half the. And KD and James Harden, mainly KD, says, okay, that's cool.
It's cool. They know they need him.
They do.
And they're willing to take him under any circumstance. And yet I just believe there are other players down the line in that locker room who are just shaking their heads. And it could hurt your unity going forward. It could be the underlying reason they don't get home in the end.
Well, Kevin Durant's in protocol. Kevin Durant's logging a lot of minutes. And he can definitely lessen the load. That's why you went and got James Harden. Yeah. Because if one of those other guys are out, Skip, you still have two superstars. Okay. And we know with those superstars, we've seen those guys separate. Yeah. So we know if you have two of the three, you still have a chance to win a championship. Skip, I don't know. They become damn near unbeatable with three of those three guys. Because how do you stop? What do you do? Hope they miss. Pray they miss.
They've been pretty good with a little bit of Kevin and a little bit of James,
Right.
who's looked about half of himself.
James Harden's looked good for like 4 games this year.
Yes, I agree. He admitted in an ESPN interview I saw yesterday, I had to drop some pounds. Yeah. And he didn't drop them with his diet. He just had to play them off, right? Okay,
yes.
so he played them off. So to conclude on this, it reminds me a little bit of the AB situation in Tampa, except there's one huge difference. Kyrie didn't commit any felony offense. It was his personal choice.
Right. He said, I'm not getting vaccinated.
I'm not getting vaccinated. AB committed what could have been a felony offense with a fake vaccination card. But what is similar is that management in both cases had to say yes or no. And I believe Bruce Arians, in his heart of hearts, was saying no. And I believe Tom Brady said, I got to have him, BA. I got to have him. Especially after they lost Chris Godwin for the rest of the year.
Yep.
And when you send that message to some people in the locker room, they don't love it because it shows that their coach just got undermined.
Yeah.
And so could that be a reason? I've told you, I'm a little concerned about the Buccaneers. As much as I love what they look like on paper, I think Bruce lost a little authority in the locker room.
Well, I think, Skip, the thing is that you know who runs that. That's Tom Brady's ship.
Okay.
Until he's out of there, then Bruce can seize back control again. But in the movie, Captain Phillips, he's like, look,
I know.
I'm the captain now.
But I think when Tom goes home, I think Bruce might go home, too. I think that
You
might
think
be
so?
it. Yep.
I don't know.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.